Hello, fellow Sudokans, and welcome to Zen and the Art of the Guardian Sudoku puzzle for Saturday, the 27th of March, 2021. A story that caught my eye today in The Guardian was of a place called the Citeaux Abbey in Burgundy, France, where they have an excess of cheese, huge amounts of cheese. Monks produce cheese. I'm not sure if they produce wine in that one particular one, but then monks are often famous for producing cheese and wine. But they have an excess, and they have more than 50% excess of cheese, and are looking to sell it via the internet. Interesting. But I like the comment from one of the brothers who said, we tried explaining it to the cows, but they didn't quite understand. I thought that was rather a giggle. So that was an interesting story for today. It is Saturday, and according to the Guardian's schedule, whichever you prefer, today should be an expert level puzzle day, and that's what they've graded it. And I'm just looking down at the puzzle now, and isn't it a weird shape? It's kind of a T, right? Looks like it's got like parts down here. There's a T shape. T shapes are sometimes used in Sudoku puzzles, of course. There's that structure that's often known as empty rectangles, where you have a T shape across like this. Maybe we'll need it today. Who knows? It is an expert level puzzle. Well, according to the Guardian, it's an expert level puzzle. It remains to be seen whether or not it really rises to that. Remember, I don't play these at all before I attempt them, so I have no idea how difficult or easy it's going to turn out to be. So, without further ado, should I explain the rules? Oh, very quickly, although you should know them by now, of course. Each row across needs numbers 1 to 9 in each of its 9 squares. Each column needs numbers 1 to 9 in each of its 9 squares. Each segment, which has 9 squares, needs numbers 1 to 9. Of course, each number can appear once, and so that's generally how we find the missing numbers. For example, there is a 7 in this column here, excuse me, and a 7 in this column here. So it can't appear again, right, because there are only 9 squares. So it's just once in each column. So 7's here, 7 here. So when we look in this segment here, we notice that these 3 squares are blocked and these 3 squares are blocked. And when we look in this row, we can see 7 blocks across here as well. So that square is also not allowed to be a 7. And 7 is prohibited here because of that square there. So we can put in our first number of the day. A 7 goes in there. Likewise, in a very similar fashion, the 2 down here and the 2 down here and the 2 blocking across there leaves us just one possible location to fill in a 2. So we'll do that right now. Okay, 2's across the top. So it's a good idea generally to keep your eye moving around. Don't get stuck in one place for too long. I find, although some may disagree, there's a 2 across in this row, 2 in this row, 2 in this column, and 2 in this column, allowing us to fill in a 2 in that spot there. Okay, 2 has to come here as well. We notice there's 2 across here and 2 across here, which leaves just these 2 squares, but we'll notice that this 2 blocks here, right? Across here, and this 2 is down. So 2 is going to appear, actually 2, we can fill that in already. 2 down here, 2 across here, 2 here. So that's a 2 there. And when we bring that down, and this one across, we'll see 2 goes there. Is that the end of the 2's already? Wow, digit 2 complete in a very short time for an expert level puzzle. Maybe they're going to hit us with some trickiness later on. It's quite plausible. There's a 1 in this column and a 1 in this row, so blocked along this kind of L shape here, leaving us with just a 1 position for a 1 there. Noisy outside today again. 5 in this column here, 5 in this row here, so block down here, block down here. That's the only spot 5 can go. Let's fill it in. Okay, perhaps we're going to have to slow down a little bit now because we have been going very rapidly. Oh dear, 7 across this row here, like so, leaving just that spot there for a 7. Okay, right, definitely slowing down a little now. I can see quite a few places where we could fill in candidates, and I'm fully expecting to do that because I don't expect to do, even from the Guardian, who tends to overrate their, they tend to overrate their puzzles. I think many Sudoku players would agree. Even so, I don't expect to be able to do an expert level puzzle from them without filling in any candidates, because I need them. Okay, so I think that's what we'll do. Maybe you're watching this video and seeing something glaringly obvious. That often happens when I watch these videos back. If I need to watch them back for a particular reason, I try not to, because I'm forgetting my 7 here. Oh my, how did I miss that? 7 down here, 7 up here, 7 across here. Actually, I thought I'd finished 7s. That's why, I guess. There was one there I was missing. Alright, so I was going to start filling in some candidates to help me out, help myself out. 1 blocking down here, 1 blocking down here gives us a pair of 1s in this location. So if you're unfamiliar with what I'm doing, these things we often call pencil marks that I'm using a pen to write. They are places where numbers can possibly go. Okay, so this 1 blocks along here, and so there are only 2 places where a 1 can go in this column. It means the same thing as if we'd actually placed one of these ones. It means it can't go again it can't appear again in this column up here, and so that's going to give us a pair of 1s here and here, since we have a 1 blocking over here and a 1 blocking over here. We have a 1 in this column, right? So that's generally what we do when we get to this stage. Although, in fact, hang on a second, I've just found another number. 1 down here, or 1 up here, and 1 across means we can place this 1 immediately. Okay, that's good. And so then again we have another pair along here. So now that we have 1 blocking here and 1 blocking here, we can put in candidate 1 in those 2 locations there. And that's in fact everything on 1s. I have the feeling it might turn out to be a tricky number later, but anyway, we shall see. So what else do we have? So we have 4s running along here and 4s running along here for blocking these two squares and these two squares here. So we can put in a pair of candidate 4s in those locations there. 9 blocking along here, 9 blocking along here. So these two squares can contain the number 9. So we put them in the, I put them in the top left. That's my personal preference because it reminds me that those numbers are pairs, and being a part of a pair in Sudoku is very important. It helps us a lot if you know. What's going up here? What's missing up here? So 4, 5 and 6 are missing, so 5 is blocked here. 4 blocks this cell here. And are there any intersecting 6s? No, so 6 can go anywhere. So I'm not going to put a 6 in the top left. I'm going to put it in the bottom right like this, just for me to know that it's not a pair. Now we do know that a 6 exists over here now, and a 6 exists in this row, so these two rows are blocked. This column blocks it, and we can put in a pair of 6s here. There's also a pair of 6s in this segment here because this 6 blocks this row, and there aren't any intersecting here. Okay, this 5 now blocks this column, 5 blocks this column, and the 5, which we will eventually place along here, blocks this row, leaving us with a pair of 5s in those two squares. 7 blocks this column, 7 blocks this row, 7 blocks this row, leaving us with 2 possible locations for a 7 going there. And again, 7 across here, 7 across here, leaving us with 2 spaces where we could put 7 there. Okay, well I'll just let's see. I feel like you know, as often when I'm playing this on live online in this way, that I feel like I'm missing stuff that I would otherwise see if I were just doing this without the camera on. 9 blocks this column down here, 9 blocks this column down here, leaving us with a pair of 9s in those squares. My neighbour is pumping her spray. She has a beautiful garden, unlike me. She is protecting them against some kind of insect. I know not which type. Alright, I don't think I can hold off much longer with... Oh, hold on. Here's a 4 down here, so 4 is a pair along here, like so. Is that going to help us? Not a lot. Let's just focus here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So the missing numbers are 8 and 9. Any help on those? Just that 1 9. Nothing else. I was hoping that might reveal something. Okay, so I think at this stage I'm going to just fill in all of the candidates that I can now. So where to begin? That's a good question. I have no idea. So just start here. So this 9 blocks this square here. So there are 3 places for a 9. The other missing number here was 8, I believe, and that can go anywhere. Alright. Here we have 1, 2. Are there any intersecting 3s? No. Is that going to do anything? No. So let's put in our 3s. 4, 5. So we got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and 9. Only the 8 remaining, and no intersecting 8s anywhere to help us out. So clearly 8 is going to be our bugbear today. Up here, 1, 2, 3 blocks along here. It's a funny looking 3. 4 along the central row, column here, I should say, and 4 along here. So there are 4 places where we could put 4. 5 we already have, 6, 7. 8 blocks is blocked along this row here, but nowhere else. So 8 like so. And 9 blocks this column here, and 9 blocks this row here, leaving us with 9s in those 3 places there. So I'm just looking to see if I see anything in this shoot, really, because now that I've filled in a complete shoot, I generally try and go through and see if I can see anything that needs removing at this stage to save filling in huge numbers of candidates later on. Yes, of course. Okay, so in here we have 8 and 3. Immediately we have 8 and 3, and so that means that because we have an 8 and 3 in these 2 squares, in fact I'm going to promote them now to a pair and put them in the top like this, just to remind me that they are a pair. And that means I'm going to be able to remove 8 and 3. I'm going to get onto that one in a minute because I can actually fill that in. So let's get rid of the 8 and 3 here, and the 3 here, and the 8 here. And when we do that, you'll see when we remove this 8 and 3, guess what? There's only a 9 remaining. So I'm just going to fill in that number. I'm not going to bother to remove the digits. But now, of course, we can remove candidate 9 in this segment here. And if there are any candidates 9s down here, there are indeed, we can in fact remove this 9 here, which will now leave us with a pair here, right? 9 and 9, which is great news because it also means that we can remove the 8. Okay, because now that we have 2 numbers which are a pair, you know, top left in my personal notation, we can put them in the top left. So 1, 9, the third number that we had there, the 8, no longer is true because this can only be 1 and 9. So I'm going to move that to also the 8s up here, just to remind me that that is a pair there. So 4 and 8 is now 4 and 8s are excluded along here. In fact, we've only got 2 numbers here. Will that help us? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 we don't have yet, and 9 we don't have yet. Okay, so here's an intersecting 9 down here. So 9 can't go here. There are only 2 squares left, right? So 9's got to go here, and 6 has got to go here, like so. I'll remove candidate 6 up here because I'm likely to forget otherwise. Let's just check that we don't have any 1s or 9s to be removed here. No, we're okay. Alright, so far so good. Now I'm just going to come back, and now that I've filled in some numbers, I'm going to go back and look for pairs again because you know, the situation has now changed, and this is something to remember when you're playing Sudoku, I think, is that, you know, you can look for stuff, look for pairs and things like that, and then you fill in like a region. Could be just a box, or it could be a shoot or something like that, and you make some changes. Well, then you need to go back and start looking for pairs again to make your life easier, because some may have appeared, and in fact definitely some numbers have appeared here. So this 9 here now, which blocks this column now. Okay, so these 2 squares are blocked, and we have a 9 blocking across here and a 9 blocking across here, means there's only one space where a 9 can go. We had a pair of 9s here, So 9 we can now fill in immediately and remove that candidate 9. So that's a little bit of help there. Okay. And continue to look around as well, because there may be some other things that have changed. Okay, right. That's a reasonable start, I think. Maybe we're getting onto the middle game now, a mid game now. I'm not sure, but it's okay. Right. So let's continue filling in some candidates. I'm not sure where the best place to look is, where the best way to go is. I'll just see if I see some pairs though, like this 6 blocks this column, and so 6 is a pair in this square and this square. Okay. This 6 blocks along this row, and this 6 blocks this column, leaving us with a pair of 6s in those two locations. Okay, I don't see anything else that we can do immediately. So I'll just get back to, I don't see any more developments since we've filled in those particular numbers. So in that case, I shall just go back to filling in other candidates. Right, so where were we? Okay, so in this segment here, let's say, we've got 1 and 2, 3 we don't have, but this 3 blocks this column here, so 3 appears in these spaces here. 4 also blocks this. This is going to be useful, I think. 4 blocks these 2 squares here, so 4 is down here. Now, we have 1, 4, and 3 in 3 spaces, right? 1, 4, 3, 1, 4, 3, 1, 4, 3. Neither in here, so whichever number is left has to appear in these 2 locations here. It's an 8, isn't it? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. It's an 8. And so, excuse me, I'm battling against the fruit seller outside. Okay. Selling dragon fruits, something like that. Okay, so 8 up here blocks this column now. This 8 blocks here, and so we have a pair of 8s in this space and this space here. Actually, it didn't really do much else for us. It wasn't a huge help, but well, it's something, I guess. Right. Shall we look at the middle section here? 1, 2, 3 is blocking here, and that's the only place, so 3 occurs either in either of these squares here. 4, 5 we don't have yet. 2 5s blocking the same middle square here, nothing else, so 5 is there. Have we got the rest? 6, 7, 8, 9, we got the rest already. 5, 6, 5, 6, 9, 8, that's looking good. 5, 4, 4, 3, okay, 6, 3, yeah. Okay, it doesn't look like we've made any glaring mistakes, because the numbers seem to match. You know, it's a good idea, I think, to just check as you go along. If you see something weird, you may have made a mistake, and that's what I try to do when I can. Okay, does it matter where now? No, I think not. Let's just try up here. 3 across blocks this row here and nowhere else, so 3 is in these possible locations. 4, are there any intersecting 4s? Yes, along here. So just that one cell blocked. So 4 can appear here, here, or here. Yay! I've seen something good. So that has allowed me to notice something that I could have noticed earlier on, but sometimes you just don't see these things. But often when you see a pattern like this, you see 4s set as a pair here and 4s set not in this central column here. So when we see that, that will enable us to understand that a 4 has to appear in the central column down here, right? So it's got to be in this square. But I could have noticed it if I'd been more observant, because 4, remember, blocks here, 4 blocks here, and 4 blocks here. So that's the same thing, actually. It's the same process. It's just that sometimes it's difficult to spot those particular things. Okay. Has that changed anything? Yes, it has. And so immediately here we've got a pair of 4 and 3, which we can now change to a 3. Okay, this 4 is obliterated now, meaning there's only one place for a 4 left, that's here, and our only remaining candidate is 1, not including the 9-8 pair that we have here. Now that we've got a 1 here, we can exclude it from this, so that's our 9 and that's our 1. All right, now that we've got our back to our 9-8 pair here, this is the 9 and this is the 8. Okay, that's pretty good. So we can find the missing number here as well. Excuse me. So I was filling in the numbers up here, but this seems to be slightly easier to see. So the missing number along here is 5. So let's put in 5 as a pair here. It might just help us make things easier later on. You never can tell. And down here the missing numbers must be 3 and 8, I believe. 1, 2, yep, 3 and 8. 3 and 8. Right, any intersecting 3s and 8s? No. But we'll put them in as a pair, like so. Right, back to filling in candidates. Oh, wait a minute, I should probably look down here first, because I've done that now. This might bring something else up here that I didn't notice. Now that I've filled in this region here. Anything? 3. Oh yes, I've got to get rid of candidate 3 here, haven't I? Okay. So now that I do that, I'm left with just 1 3 here, which is in this position, and I'm overwriting a 6, so the 6 goes in there, leaving just 8 5 here. That's good, because it means 8 and 5 can't exist again in this column, so that's got to be a 4. 4 or 6, that's got to be a 6, and that's got to be a 5, like that. So that's done now. Right, I don't think that's going to lead to anything else just yet, so back to looking for candidates. That's a really noisy bird outside. I have no idea what species it is, but it's got quite a voice on it, I can say that. Okay, so I was doing this. Let's come back and do this, shall we? So 5 blocks along here, like so. Aha! I'm going to stop there for a second. Since 5 blocks that square, and I know that 5 is not in the central row here, that means 5 has got to appear as a pair here or here, doesn't it? So I'm going to put that in like so. And now that oh, it's okay, we already have the 5 up here. It didn't affect anything anyway. Alright, so 5 can go in these locations. 6, 7, 9, 8 we don't have yet. 8 is blocked along this bottom row. Is that it? Yeah, I believe so. So 8s could go in those squares there. Okay, I think that's looking right. I don't see any problems there so far. Okay, good. And there's only one segment to fill in. So our 3 is blocking, this 3 here is blocking these 2 squares, so 3 can appear here, here, and here. 4, 5 we've got already. 6 blocks this column here, and this 6 is irrelevant for the moment. Actually, this 6 is not irrelevant. Ooh! Because, look, I had a pair I could have removed a while ago and didn't notice. So 6 goes there. I'm overwriting a 7. 7 goes there. This was a pair of 7s. 7's got to be here. I'm overwriting a 6. 6 goes here. This is the beauty of writing pairs in the top left. It makes them much easier to find. You can remove numbers more quickly when, like me, you forget to do something. Okay, let's get rid of this candidate 7 there. 5, 4, 1, 5, 4, 3. That's looking okay. Is there anything else to get rid of? We got 1s there, 4, 8. I think. Oh, this. No, yes. I think that's it. Okay, I think that puts us up to date there. All right, back over here before I rudely interrupted myself. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 6 is now blocked in. Okay, great. 6 is now blocking those 2 squares and those 2 squares, so it gives us a pair here, which is great because it means I've made a mistake somewhere. Or no, okay, just didn't remove candidate 3 there. Oh God. Okay, this is the problem about doing stuff quickly and not remembering to remove all the candidates. You can get yourself into trouble. Right, let's get rid of candidate 8 here now. Candidate 8 here now, leaving us with a pair of 1 or 3 along here. Okay. And now that we've put in this 8 here, we can put the 8 here and the 4 in this space here. We had 5 or 4 there, so that's got to be a 5 now. That's got to be a 1 now. That's got to be a 4 now. The 8 blocks here, so that's 3, that's 8. This 3, 1 or 3, that's got to be a 1. That's our 3. Okay, this 3 can't exist now, but well, I haven't finished filling in all the candidates here yet, so let's just see. So 3 is now a pair here and here. Got to be careful because I almost made an assumption without filling in all the candidates, so that's an important thing to remember as well. So let's should I get rid of candidates along here first? Might help save some time. Let's get rid of 8 along here. 4 we have along here as well now, leaving us with 5 and 3. Does that look right? 5 and 3 here, 5 and 3 here. Yeah, that looks right. So 5 and 3 here, meaning that we can't have 5 or 3 anywhere else, so that's got to be an 8, and that's got to be a 4. 4 or 6. I haven't finished filling these in, but I have filled in these 2, so that's 4, and that's our 6 down here. 6 or 5, that's a 6. That's 5. 5 or 3, that's a 3. That's a 5. 3 down here, that's a 3. That's an 8. Okay, this 8 does in fact block down here. So when I had 8 or 5 here, this 8 blocks this square, so that's got to be 8. And even though I didn't finish filling in the candidates, I know that that's a 5. This 8 is going to block here, so that's 8. This was 8 or 5, that's 5. Should be one number left as the fruit seller returns on his second round. That's our so-called expert level puzzle finished for today. Please remember to subscribe. Was it an expert level puzzle? Really, Guardian? Really? Are you sure? Expert level? I don't really class myself as an expert. I mean, I know quite a few techniques, but there are many players who are much better than me. But I think that was not too tricky, was it really? So that's it for today. Tomorrow is of course the Observer, when they don't grade their puzzles. Thank you very much. Please join me again over and over, any day you like, every day if you can. Thank you. Bye bye.